When it comes to tech and PC hardware, I'm not really the jealous type. I work with a ton of shockingly awesome pieces of hardware on a regular basis, and I very rarely feel all that broken up about it when I have to send them back. But this video is a little different. And that's because today I'll be putting together one of the most badass systems I have ever worked on. And because ASUS South Africa in partnership with Seagate is sponsoring this video, you guys have the opportunity to win this beast when I'm done building it, and I don't. So yeah, I might be just a little bit jealous. Now before I get to work and put this system together, here's how you can actually enter the competition to maybe win the thing. First off, the competition is exclusive to South African residents, so if you don't live in SA, then better luck next time. In order to enter the competition, all you have to do is reach out to ASUS South Africa on their social media pages, which I'll link down below, and then tell them about your toughest role model. Whether that's your mom, your dad, or your super inspirational dog, it doesn't matter. As long as they had a really positive impact on your life, then go ahead and give them some props. Just be quick about it and submit your entries right after this video because the competition does end on the 7th of July. Now, I'm betting you're pretty hyped to see what we're actually going to be putting into the system, so let's just get straight into it. The theme of this competition is the power of 4, and that's because there are 4 major headliners in this particular build. 3 from ASUS's TUF gaming line and a massive one from Seagate. And first up is the TUF Gaming GT301. A full ATX mid-tower with a small footprint, strikingly good looks, amazing airflow thanks to a mesh front panel, and 4 included fans. And also glorious RGB. Adding to the TUF train is the TUF Gaming B550M Plus Wi-Fi edition. It's a very similar board to the TUF Gaming B550 Plus I took a look at a few weeks ago, with all the same attitude, power, features, and fantastic build quality of that board, but in a smaller package and Wi-Fi included right out of the box. And just when you thought the build couldn't get any tougher, enter the TUF Gaming RX 5600 XT. This is an absolute beast of a card built to crush frames at 1080p and even 1440p in most games, and thanks to the generously thick TUF Gaming cooler, it'll do so at very manageable temperatures. It also just looks really awesome and I want it. Coming in hot for their contribution to the build is Seagate and the 1TB version of their new FireCuda 520 M.2 SSD. It's an NVMe drive that fully takes advantage of the TUF Gaming B550M Plus's PCIe Gen 4 interface, which basically means that it's friggin' fast. Like 5,000 megabytes per second read and 4,400 megabytes per second write fast. As for longer term / game storage, we have a massive 4TB Seagate Iron Wolf Pro drive, a drive you'd normally see in professional NAS setups, so you know this thing is built to last. As for the rest of the build, these guys did not skimp out here either. At the heart of the system will be AMD's fantastic Ryzen 5 3600X, which should provide all the gaming and even professional application performance you could ever want and more. While cooling on the chip will be more than handled by Cooler Master's Hyper H410R Tower Cooler. As for RAM, we have 2 sticks of HyperX Fury RGB Edition running at 2666 MHz, though thanks to the motherboard we're rocking here, overclocking that to 3000 MHz and beyond is a breeze. And lastly, powering all of this performance is left up to Cooler Master's MWE 550 White. So yeah, safe to say this thing is going to be an absolute monster once I put it all together. So let's not waste any more time and just get to it. Now that was a fun build. The whole thing came together really well, and I think it actually looks super sick. The GT301 was an awesome case to build in, with cable routing cutouts all around the motherboard, plenty of space to work in, and the included Velcro straps, cable ties, and more than a generous amount of tie-down points made cable routing super clean and easy. And it even comes with a GPU support bracket thing that just works perfectly with the aesthetic of the build. It's an especially nice little bonus, since the TUF Gaming 5600XC is a seriously thick boy. The cooling solution on this thing is gargantuan, and it makes the whole thing look intimidatingly awesome. I also love how perfectly the three TUF Gaming parts work together, both practically and aesthetically. The only part that breaks away from the overall look we have going on here is Seagate's FireCuda 520. And that's not a bad thing. The FireCuda 520 is a serious bit of hardware, and without a third-party heatsink covering it up, it stands out in all of the right ways. Honestly, the only part of the build that I don't love as much is the CPU cooler, and even then it's only because of the red LEDs on the fan. I would personally just switch that fan out for one without LEDs, or one of Cooler Master's RGB fans. Oh, and as you may have noticed, I only put one stick of RAM in the build, and that's just because I couldn't find the other one. But rest assured, the final build will come with 2 sticks, and for my benchmarking, I just threw in a kit I already have, that's 2 8GB sticks. But now that we have everything set up and ready to go, it's time to fire this thing up and see what it's got. So let's go ahead and do that. And right off the bat, this thing's performance kicked me straight in the teeth. The FireCuda 520 was just so blazingly fast. I was able to get Windows on this thing in like 10 minutes flat. The only limiting factor there was my much slower USB stick, but even still, I was blown away. Almost as blown away as I was with how fast this thing boots up. I'm pretty sure if I timed the whole process from pressing button and getting into Windows, it would come out to like 15 seconds. This raw speed was even further confirmed when I fired up Crystal Disk Mark, where I saw the drive easily managing the read and write speeds quoted on the box, and doing so while also recording the whole thing with OBS. For my benchmarking, the only thing I changed was my RAM speed. I changed that to 2666 and left the rest of the settings on stock. Then I went ahead and fired up Cinebench to simulate some professional workloads, and man did the 3600X deliver. On all core, it scored 3,532 points, while on single core it capped out at 489 points, which is just stupid good. It achieved those scores by boosting all the way up to 4.3 GHz on all core and going up to 4.4 GHz on single core. A testament to AMD's massive performance gains over the generations and the fantastic power delivery of the TUF Gaming B550M+. The impressive performance on display here also carries over to gaming, which is where the TUF Gaming 5600XC finally comes into play. In Doom Eternal at 1080p high settings, this beast of a system was easily able to maintain an average frame rate of 154, with a 1% and 0.1% low of 110 and 88 FPS respectively. While with the same settings in Apex Legends, it was able to manage an average FPS of 126, with a 1% low of 86 and a 0.1% low of 83. Again, with those same settings, in Fortnite we saw an average of 143 FPS with a 1% low of 99 and a 0.1% low of 75 FPS. These are all fantastic numbers that prove that this system is ready for any game you could possibly throw at it. Some more impressive numbers come in the form of cooling performance, as we saw CPU maxing out at 70 degrees, while GPU only maxed out at 58 degrees. Even the FireCuda 520 drive never hit more than 47 degrees. I have no doubt that these great temperatures are due to the GT301. The mesh front panel and generous inclusion of 4 fans, this thing is an airflow champion. All in all, I'm very happy with this very tough build. I think it looks awesome, especially with the RGB flare we've got going on in the front, and the parts ASUS and Seagate have provided for it work together oh so brilliantly. And not to toot my own horn or anything, but I think my cable management just puts this system way over the top. But yeah, if you'd like the opportunity to win this thing, just head on over to ASUS South Africa's social media pages and let them know about your toughest role model. And again, only do that if you're a South African citizen, and do it right dang now, because the competition closes on the 7th of July. Anyway, huge thanks to ASUS South Africa for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel, and for giving this awesome thing away to hopefully one of you guys watching. If you'd like to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit the like button, get subscribed, and comment down below, just like praising me on my cable management or something like that. And yeah, hope to see you guys in the next video. Cheers.